Episode 3 of Euphoria Season 3 is built around control, but more importantly, the illusion of it. On the surface, everything in this episode looks stable. Jules has money and independence. Nate and Cassie are hosting a perfect wedding, and Rue is moving carefully between dangerous situations. It feels like everyone has figured something out, but the episode slowly shows that none of this control is real. The cold open gives us a clear look at Jules after high school, and it shows a very direct shift in her priorities. She tries art school, but quickly realizes that it doesn't give her what she wants. Stability, money, and independence matter more to her than the idea of struggling for art. Her decision to leave and become a full-time sugar baby is framed as practical rather than emotional. She doesn't see it as giving up. She sees it as choosing a path that actually works for her. This connects to a key theme in the episode. Jules isn't chasing identity anymore. She's chasing control over her life, even if that control comes with compromises. Ellis represents the system Jules is now part of. He is wealthy, controlled, and used to getting what he wants. His proclivities aren't just there for shock. They show how power works in this dynamic. Jules becomes something that can be shaped, controlled, and used for someone else's satisfaction. The cellophane moment, while extreme, works as symbolism. It turns her into something packaged, almost like an object rather than a person. What matters is that Jules accepts this. She's not forced into it in any way. She chooses it because it gives her access to a life she wants. That makes the situation more complex. It's not just exploitation. It's a trade. When Jules arrives at the wedding, everything about her presentation is intentional. Her outfit, her attitude, and her confidence all feel like a performance. This connects to the idea that identity in this world is often something you build and show off, rather than something grounded in who you actually are. Jules is no longer the same person from earlier seasons. She has reshaped herself to fit the life she's living now. The same applies to Maddie. Even though her role is smaller in this episode, her presence is also about image. But the fact that she leaves early suggests that even she can't fully hold that image together all the time. Jules' conversations with Cal and Nate are some of the most interesting parts of the episode because of how calm they are. These are characters with complicated and painful history, yet their interactions are controlled, polite, and even slightly friendly. This is unexpected, and that's the point. The show is playing with expectations. Instead of immediate conflict, it leans into subtle tension. But that tension is uncomfortable. It feels like everything is being held back rather than resolved. This reflects a larger idea. Just because something looks calm doesn't mean it's settled. The wedding is structured in a way that builds tension slowly. Normally, in this kind of story, things would go wrong early and escalate from there. Instead, the episode holds that chaos back. Naz's arrival is the turning point. The wedding is built around image and presentation, while Naz represents the reality that Nate is trying to hide. Nate has built this life that looks successful, but Naz exposes the truth. He's in debt, and he isn't in control. Cassie overhearing this is what pushes everything over the edge. Her reaction is emotional and public, which contrasts with the controlled atmosphere that existed before. Cassie's breakdown at the wedding is the result of everything building up at once. She has been trying to maintain an image of perfection, but that image can't hold once the truth comes out. The champagne cork moment adds a strange mix of chaos and almost dark humor, but it still represents a loss of control. Everything becomes messy and unpredictable. The violence that follows when they get home pushes things even further. Nate is no longer the one in control. He's the one being punished. Naz cutting off Nate's pinky toe is the clearest sign of how far things have escalated. It turns the situation from verbal confrontation into lasting physical consequence. Nate goes from trying to maintain an image of success to being physically overpowered and humiliated. Cassie, who thought she was building a stable future, is thrown into the same instability. This moment shows how fragile their world really is. Rue's storyline in this episode is simple but very important. She's sent to Laurie's, which creates tension because it feels like something bad is about to happen. The earlier setup suggests danger, possibly even a trap. The scene with Laurie and her associates hints at the idea that Rue could be taken or used as leverage. But the scene doesn't play out that way. Instead, The focus shifts to the assassination of the parrot, Paladin. This moment is strange, but it carries symbolic meaning. The parrot represents surveillance, control, and Laurie's presence. A parrot listens, repeats, and watches. In Laurie's world, that connects to control and information. By killing the parrot, Alamo is attacking Laurie's sense of control. It's a symbolic move, showing that her power isn't absolute. Rue is part of this situation, but she's not fully in control of it. She's moving between different systems of power, working under people who are constantly in conflict. On the way back, Rue listens to a Bible audiobook. This connects back to her earlier interest in religion. It shows that she's still searching for meaning and direction, even while being involved in dangerous situations. This contrast is important. She's trying to hold on to something stable while still living in chaos. Her call with Fesco also reminds us of the past. Even though her life has changed, those connections still exist in some form. The episode ends with Rue being pulled over by the DEA, and this moment feels like a turning point. Up until now, she has been moving between dangerous situations, but she has managed to avoid consequences. This moment suggests that her actions are finally catching up to her. Earlier, she mentioned wanting to go legit, which means she's thinking about doing things the legal way instead of staying involved in drug running and everything connected to it. It's a small moment, but it shows that she's aware that what she's doing can't last forever. She understands, at least in theory, that there's a point where she will need to step out of this system. This could be the moment that forces that change, but not in a way she planned. This ties back to one of the main ideas of the episode. You can delay consequences, but you can't avoid them forever. Episode 3 ends by reinforcing the idea that most of what we see in this world is carefully constructed, but not actually stable. At first, different characters seem to have found some form of direction. Jules has built a life that gives her money, independence, and comfort. Nate and Cassie present themselves as a couple with status and control. Rue is still moving through dangerous environments, but she hasn't fully been stopped yet. From a distance, it can look like everyone has adapted in their own way. But the episode slowly undercuts all of that. Jules' life comes with hidden costs. Nate and Cassie's perfect life collapses because they're in debt. Rue continues to move through dangerous systems, but the consequences are getting closer. By the end, the episode makes one thing clear. Control in this world is temporary, and sooner or later, reality will come knocking. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.